Hello, FBA sellers. You are losing money every day due to FBA attrition. This video is going to tell you what FBA attrition is and how you can deal with it to save a lot of money. FBA attrition is your hidden loss due to FBA operations. It is about 2% on average, your total sales in the last 18 months. So you just divide your last 18 months sales by 50, you figure out how much money you already lost. The good thing is you get the money back if you open cases. The bad thing is if you don't do it on time, you can lose it forever. So I'm going to set a very strict time window for you to claim these losses. It's about 9 months for inbound and 18 months for all other losses. If you don't act quickly and if you don't know where they are, you're going to lose this money forever. So let's go on and see where they are, okay? FBA attrition is in every step of FBA operations. It happens everywhere, so inbound attrition, in the warehouse attrition, outbound attrition, removal attrition, and hidden charges. I'm going to show you the details of them one by one. Inbound attrition is pandemic. There are always discrepancies between what you sent to them and how much Amazon count into their inventory. So it is a big issue that many people know about it. If you don't know how to deal with it, go to YouTube and search FBA inbound loss, and there will be video links to tell you how to reconcile and claim these losses. It's very easy. Everyone can do that. So you may think it's simple. Most sellers think that's it. No, it's not that simple. It's more complicated. So I'm going to tell you. So this is a typical shipment queue table, okay? So there's 4 shipments. So shipment A, you sent 24 units. Amazon counts the receipt for the units. Do you think you're going to get 24 units more into your inventory? And you can take advantage from Amazon's mistakes? No, it's not going to happen because Amazon has a software to deal with this kind of scenario. If they count more received units than what you shipped, the system will automatically deduct whatever overage it is. Here is double count, so they will deduct 24 units. If, let's say, it happens sometimes if you have 40 units in the inventory and still sold them very quickly, and later on they found out that you have 24 units overage, they will deduct money from your account later on. Okay, so you're never going to take advantage from Amazon. Okay. Shipment B, you send 44 units, Amazon counts 0. You have to reconcile this one for sure, and if you don't do it within 9 months time window, you're going to lose the entire shipment. That's going to be maybe a lot of money. Okay. So shipment C and shipment D. Shipment C and shipment D are the same item, so you send them in 2 different shipments. Each contains 40 units. Okay. So what happens here is shipment C, Amazon counts 0. Shipment D, Amazon counts 80. So this is a very tricky case. So what's going to happen? So when you reconcile shipment C, so Amazon is going to say, hey, 40 units are already counted into an inventory because shipment D got a double count. So this is overage there. So we count whatever in the shipment C into shipment D. That's what they're going to say. Okay. And later on, because this system has a safe lock software, they're going to deduct whatever overage in shipment D. So it ends up you don't get any reimbursement from shipment C, and you got a 40 units deduction from shipment D. So you lose the entire shipment of shipment C. Okay, this is going to be a lot of money. So you got to be careful about this, and sometimes it happens. Okay. In the warehouse, attrition is a major part of FBA attrition. So as an FBA seller, you may notice Amazon reimburse you for damaged or missing units. But what you don't know is they don't reimburse you 100%. They don't. They always forget to reimburse you some of it. So it can turn out to be a lot of money. Okay. This is a big issue, and it's hidden down there, so many of you don't know this. Outbound attrition happens after Amazon shipped the item to the buyers. So this is a big issue because Amazon can refund the buyers on your behalf, and they always give all kinds of weird refunds. The first one, refund without return. So this happens all the time. So the buyer asks for the return, and the moment they ask for the return, Amazon will debit money from your account. If the buyer doesn't return the item in the end, and Amazon forgets to charge the buyer or reimburse you later on, so you end up losing money. So it's like you send the buyer one item for free. Okay. Free replacement. If the buyer asks for a new item instead of money, and Amazon forgets to reimburse you later on, they're going to get 2 units of merchandise, and they paid only 1 unit. So you lose 1 unit. Return over time window. This is a huge issue. So the buyers ask for refund or return after 30 days or maybe 3 years later, and Amazon grants it. And yeah, I have no idea what is going on there in their service. Unreasonable refund. This happens all the time too, because sometimes the buyer may ask Amazon to give a price match, or maybe something wrong with the item. They ask for some money to cover their loss, and Amazon just give them the money. And it's not Amazon's money, it's your money. So, outbound attrition. Removal attrition happens when you remove items, or when you don't remove items. So it sounds very weird, but I'm going to explain it. So there's a 30-day disposal rule. You need to know this rule if you do FBA, okay? So from the day that Amazon received an unsellable unit, they're going to count day 1. And if you don't remove this unsellable unit within 30 days, they're going to dispose it for you, okay? So whether this unsellable unit is coming from the buyer return, or is coming from what you send them as new unit, they count as unsellable. No matter what reason it is, if it's unsellable there, they're going to dispose it within 30 days. Okay. So if you don't set up the auto removal service, you better do it right now. Okay. Hidden disposal. So hidden disposal happens is hidden very deep down there. So you have no idea what it is. You need the professionals to calculate this for you. Okay. In a word, they just would destroy units in their warehouse and sometimes just dispose them, and there's no record of it, so you lose money. Removal with less units than orders. So when you remove items back to you, okay, you have to count carefully how much is in the box you receive. Otherwise, you may end up with less units in the box than what you ordered. Okay, this happens. In addition to all these attritions I just talked about, there are also hidden charges. So you have to be careful about this. Balance adjustments. It happens all the time. It can be thousands of dollars debited from your account. Well, the problem is it just shows balance adjustments, and you have no idea why they adjust it. So you have to ask them why. Inaccurate storage volume. So have you ever checked your FBA storage volume for each individual SKU? If not, better check it now, because the volume is related to the storage fee. Okay, if they miscount the volume, they're going to charge you more for the storage fee. And also, the storage fee is related to the long-term storage fee. So if they charge you twice the volume, they charge you twice the storage fee, and they are going to charge you twice the long-term storage fee too. $25 reimbursements. Oh, this is very funny. So $25 is a default value of reimbursement. So if Amazon doesn't know, that's what I say. If Amazon doesn't know what the value of the merchandise is, and they have to reimburse you for this merchandise, they're going to reimburse you for $25 each. So you can end up with $25 reimbursement for a missing Apple MacBook, or maybe you know, a very expensive camera. If you don't pay attention to it, you end up getting only $25 for a very expensive merchandise. Inaccurate long-term storage fee. So as I said, so if volume is wrong, storage fee can be wrong. Also, the storage fee there's a cutoff timeline for the long-term storage fee. So you have to make sure they count the right amount of units when they charge for the long-term storage fee. So all these attritions I talked about add up is called FBA attrition. In total, it's about 2% on average of your total FBA sales. So this can be big as a profit because it really depends on how much your margin is. Let's say if your margin, the pure profit, is 10% of the total sales, and 2% of total sales is about 20% of the total profit, right? So if your margin is only 5%, 2% is going to be 40% of the total profit. So you're losing this money if you don't claim it. And what's more annoying is you have to claim it on time. In other words, the clock is ticking. Let me read this Amazon's policy for you so that you know I'm not kidding. FBA lost and damaged inventory reimbursement policy. Limitations. Important. They say it's important. You must submit claims for items missing for shipments sent to Amazon fulfillment centers within 9 months. 9 months for inbound. All other claims for lost or damaged inventory must be submitted within 18 months. 18 months for all others of the date of loss or damage. And you need to listen to the following sentence very carefully too. Our policies prohibit any activity that would interfere with our capacity to help other sellers. Examples of such activities include, but are not limited to, submitting insufficiently researched or prematurely submitted requests, or submitting high volumes of requests in a short period of time. So basically what I'm saying is, you have a fixed time window to claim the losses, and you have to prepare the cases carefully so that they don't warn you to bother them, or otherwise you'll be considered abusing your seller right. Okay, you can check the this policy from this link too. And you're in a very tricky situation right now. So you, on one hand, you have to submit on time. On the other hand, you have to submit it professionally. So what are your solutions? Okay. The first solution is you can keep on losing money. You can ignore what I said, and you can keep losing 2% of the total sales because your margin is very high and you don't care about your money. Okay. Or you can do it yourself. So you can learn how to claim these losses and claim these losses yourself. Well, I must say good luck with that because it's not easy. It is the hardest way. Because to know where these losses are and to calculate how much you lost is hard. And you have to be smart enough to do it. In addition, you have to know coding. Because if you have a lot of inventories, it's impossible for you to do it by your hand. Okay, you have to have a software to do it for you. And also, even if you know exactly where your losses and how much your losses, you have to get your money back by talking with Amazon's seller specialists. When you open cases, you will see these guys. They are trained not to reimburse you. Remember this. They are trained not to reimburse you. They have all kinds of tricks and measures they know about, and they're trained to not reimburse you. So when you play with them, if you are like a totally newbie, you probably will get nothing back, even if you know you have money lost. Okay. So what you should do is to get help from someone on the market with professional experience. That's my take my words, this is the best way you can do now. If you have no idea what FBA attrition is, and you have never asked for the losses, you must get help from someone on the market. Before you go online, Google which service you're going to choose. I suggest you think about these parameters first, because later on you're going to value which service is best for you, and you have to have parameters to do your calculations. So as I summarize here, there are 5 major parameters: privacy, security, labor, efficiency, and cost. So you need to think about all these 5 parameters. Privacy. So you want to keep your business secrets. You don't want people to see what you're selling. And you don't want people to know your popular products. Otherwise, you're going to end up with a lot of competitors later on. It's not a good idea. Okay. Security. You have to keep your seller account safe. And if someone opens a lot of cases for you in a short period of time and Amazon thinks it's abusing of seller right, they may shut down your account. And also, if someone can access your account, you have to make sure that they cannot, steal money or steal inventory from your account. Labor. How much work you need to do to get the job done. If you do it yourself, you will commit 100% of the work, right? If you ask for help from someone, you may still do some work. Efficiency. What is the success rate or the speed of the companies you hire to get your money back? How good are they? Cost. How much does the company charge you for the service they provide? Okay, you need to think about all these parameters before you choose a service. Okay, now you go online, Google for services. You will see 2 major types of services. So one is a software subscription. So people ask you to subscribe for the software, and you pay a certain amount of money, let's say $99 per month for the software subscription, and they say they're going to do the work for you. Or you can see a human service, something like they're going to do all the work for you, and they're going to charge you based on how much they get back for you. So they don't use robot, they don't use software to open cases. So you see 2 kinds of service like this. Don't ever use software subscriptions. Okay, let me tell you why. So first of all, if you use software subscriptions, there's no privacy or security at all. They have software to access everything and see everything. Okay, but the robot is very limited too, because the robot cannot deal with humans. So the robot cannot talk with humans or argue with humans. This is a huge problem when the cases need to be replied. When the case is handled by the Amazon service specialist, they can answer your questions. So how can a robot argue with the specialist if there's a question? They cannot. So what this software subscription do is they're going to pick the easy targets. They're going to pick those inbound losses, because the inbound losses is just easy. Normal people can just do it themselves. Okay, or they're going to pick some outbound parts. About outbound parts easy to detect, and there's no need to argue. So those software subscriptions, they can deal with all kinds of cases that don't need to argue, but they cannot deal with any cases that need to argue with human. That's a big issue, because the major part of your loss is where you have to argue with the Amazon seller specialist to get the money back. You have to battle with them to get the money back. The robot cannot do it for you. So you're going to lose a huge chunk of money if you select software. You think that $99 per month is cheap. You can just pay $100 to get $10,000 back. There's no such thing in the world. Take my words. The cheaper ones are not always the good ones. Okay? So you have to select the human services. Although they charge you a cut, maybe more than you think, it's going to save you way more money. Way more money. So now you're going to select human services. Basically, there are 2 types of human service you can select. The first one is invasive ones. Invasive ones are like this, as you can see here. So this is your Amazon seller account. Okay, they're gonna put a lot of tools into the head or the body. and access. So either by API, which is software, or the user. So the only difference between these two are like, the API can access everything, so you have no privacy or security. The user base is like you give them a user, you set up, and you can set permissions so the user cannot see everything. And you may get some privacy and the security this way, but still it can access your account. Okay, they need to access account. So most companies you can find on the market, they do it this way, so they access your account. Okay. The other one is non-invasive. Non-invasive one is the I call it X-ray type. So it doesn't need to access your account. It only needs data from you. So you send them the data, and they're gonna like analyze your data and tell you what's going on. And later on, so you have to open cases to claim your loss, so they can just sell you the information, and you don't need to give them your account to access. They can just remotely just communicate with you for information. You can do all the communications with what they give you and tell Amazon to reimburse you. So this is the best way I see so far, because it gives you a huge amount of privacy and security. Okay. So let's compare the pros and cons of these services based on the parameters I talked about. So I didn't list efficiency and the cost, because the efficiency and cost are not determined by the type of services. They're determined by the company. So efficiency determined by the experience of the company, and cost is determined by how much the company wants to charge you. So let's talk about the privacy, security, and labor for these services. So API access has no privacy, okay, because they can get access to everything. You don't hide anything from them. And you have very low security because they have access to everything, okay. And you don't need to do too much work, because you only need to do is just give them the token they need, which is like some kind of password. So you can lay back and they will do the job. User access. User access has very low privacy, because I said here because on the market, if you go for a company with just user access, so if they ask to download reports for you, they are going to see the reports, and they're going to see everything there. So you have no privacy this way. So it's very low. If you give them the data, you can increase this part too. Okay. Security is very low because they can access your account. Okay. And the labor is very low because you give them a username and password and they can do the work. So these two types are like this. So they put tubes in there. This one put a lot of tubes in there. This one you can control how many tubes in there. So yeah. And X-ray type gives you very high privacy because it doesn't need to access your account. And you give them the data. You can train the data, delete the let's say product name and ASIN so that they don't know what you are selling. And security is very high because they don't need to access your account, so there's no need to worry about it. Labor is high because you have to give them the data, and later on, if you don't want them to access your account, you have to give them you have to work for them to communicate with Amazon. You have to be like a messenger between them and Amazon. So you have to open cases with the information they provide. You have to answer cases with the information they provide. You have to copy and paste all the time. So it involves a lot of work. So only us provide X-ray tagged service. We are the FBA Agent Corporation. This is our website, www.fbagent.org. Okay, we provide human services to help you get your money back from Amazon FBA attritions. We provide this unique X-ray type to give you high privacy and high security. So far as I know, we are the only company that provides this kind of service. Okay. In addition, we also provide the normal service, user access. You can use user access service to give you very low labor involved, with low privacy and security. In addition to this, we have developed a better modified user access service, which is called limited user access service. So this service gives you a high privacy and a minimum amount of security, but a little bit more work. So this is unique too. So you can choose between extra typed or limited user typed if you have like huge concerns about privacy and security. And if you have no concern about privacy or security, you can select this user access. We apply all kinds of services you can choose to help you meet your needs. Let me explain to you why we can give you maximum amount of privacy and security. So we don't need to see what you are setting. We don't want to see what you are setting. And we can get the job done. So how do we do it? So the secret is here. So for each individual merchandise you're selling on Amazon, there's an ASIN as a code for it. So it's like identifier for this particular merchandise. Okay. For each listing you have on Amazon, there's a SKU, and for each listing with FBA, there's an FN SKU there to identify a particular listing you provide. So from the ASIN, you can tell the product name easily. But from SKU or FN SKU, you cannot tell the product name because it's seller related. Let me give you an example here. Okay. This is a MacBook you're selling on Amazon. Okay. It has ASIN. Okay. For different sellers, 1, 2, 3, the ASIN is the same, but the SKU are different. Seller 1 has a SKU of ABCD, Seller 2 has a SKU of EFGH, and Seller 3 has SKU of Steve, and another listing SKU of Jobs. So they are all different, although they are the same merchandise. Okay. So only you and Amazon knows what ABCD means. Okay, right? So how can we know ABCD means if you delete a MacBook name and you delete ASIN in the reports you sent to us? There's no way we can know that. So ABCD is like encrypted code between you and Amazon. So that's the secret. You can delete the MacBook name and you can delete ASIN in the reports you send to us, and we can still get the calculations done correctly because we only need SKU to get the job done. So how do we give you a maximum amount of security? We don't need access account. Okay. So for all other companies, whether software, robots, or other human-based companies, they need access to Amazon seller account, one way or another. Okay. So your security loss is in this step. When the company uses your seller account or other way to communicate with Amazon, they have bridge here to see everything and access everything. And what we do is different. So our X-ray typed service gives you a very good way that you protect your security, because we don't need to communicate with Amazon directly. We communicate with Amazon indirectly with your help. So we give you the data, you communicate with Amazon, Amazon gives you the reply, you give us a reply, we process it, and the circle runs again until we get the job done. So this way gives you a huge advantage on security. So what's more amazing is that we're going to run a free quote for you to tell you how much your FBA attrition loss is and how much you get back. All you need to do is to go to our website, www.fbagent.org, register an account, and then you will start to see YouTube video instructions to tell you how to do it. How to download reports, how to trim the reports to delete ASIN and the product name, and how to upload reports to us so that we can do the calculations for you for free. And then we tell you how much money you can get back. And you choose the service, either the X-ray type or other types. And we get the job done. And there's a question you may wonder, so how do we calculate, how much do we charge and how do we calculate the final commission? So we charge very competitively. We charge 20% of the total cut. This is the lowest rate you can find on the market. And so we calculate the commission based on the final reimbursement report. So each reimbursement is going to have a case ID. So for the case ID we open, we're going to charge you 20% commission. These are the money we get back for you for the cases we open. So you get 80% of a total loss back. Let me give you more reasons to choose us. We are a US-based company. We have been in the business for years and served hundreds of customers. We give very competitive commission rates, 20% of total salary. This is probably the lowest you can get for the human services you can find on the market. And we provide all-in-one service, so all your Amazon FBA attritions are going to be covered within one service. Okay, we don't do just part of it; we do everything for you. And we have a very good tracking record. So we helped one customer to get back $60,000, and for a single SKU, for another customer, we got back $12,000. Okay, we have very good tracking record. There's no suspension or warning from Amazon for the cases we opened, so there's no damage to the customer seller account so far, because we are experienced and we know how to open cases, we know how to handle cases, and we provide indirect service too. So that's the secret. Choose us. These are our contact information. As I said before, our website, www.fbagent.org. Our email address, our YouTube channel. We have all kinds of YouTube clips for you to click and show you how to do all the things to get your money back. And our Facebook page. I'm going to leave this page on for another 30 seconds. So if you would like to choose our service, please click on these links and take a look. And if you have chosen now, please click on the website so that you can start from there.